Hey YouTube, this is my first video I've ever done, and I've decided that I'm going to get into the video game reviewing business. And the first game I'm going to do is Condemned Criminal Origins for the Xbox 360. Just picked this up the other day, $8 used from GameStop. Um, basically, the character you play is an FBI agent named Ethan Thomas, and you are investigating a murder in, I'm pretty sure it's an unnamed city. Might be. It seems like it's at least influenced by New York City. Um, you get there, you do your little crime scene investigation, and you've been tracking down this serial killer, and you believe this to be the work of said serial killer. Things take a turn. You run into said serial killer, and you get blamed for the deaths of two cops. And then the FBI is tracking you down while you're trying to track down this serial killer and clear your name. Um, I guess we'll just start with the graphics. This was a launch title for Xbox 360, so 2005. Um, basically, that means that the graphics have not aged the best. It's not painful to look at, but by now you're used to a lot better. um, However, there is some definitely good sound work going on, despite how old this is, and some good lighting effects, dynamic and stuff. It's good on that front. In terms of gameplay, it's a first-person game, but I wouldn't call it a shooter. There are guns, but um, there's more of an emphasis on it's a melee. I guess you could call it first-person melee or brawler kind of game. You can take all kinds of weapons from the environment, anything between lead pipes, 2x4s, crowbars, shovels, fire axe, all kinds of stuff. And you do eventually get a taser in the game, um, so that helps. The tasers can lead to can stun an enemy, and then you can do a cool finishing move on them. There's a neck snap, a headbutt, just a straight punch, and a slam their head into the ground. And it's all done in first person. So when you do the headbutt, you see the screen go forward, and then he smashes into the enemy's face. Your enemies in the game are just a bunch of crazy drug addicts and hobos, just great, and then just crazy people. There are some more enemies, but I wouldn't really know how to describe them, and that might kind of ruin the end of the game if I even could. So, not necessarily ruin, but some spoils. Um, Another element of the gameplay is only kind of so-so. You do some crime scene actual investigations, and so you find some fingerprints or some blood with the UV light, and you take a picture of it, and then you send it to one person at the FBI who still trusts you and is working with you. Her name is Rosa, so she analyzes your evidence, helps you out, kind of keeps you going on the trail of hunting this serial killer down. Um, then I guess you could say a third element of gameplay in Condemned is the scares, because uh, this is a horror game. I've been on a horror stint lately, which is why I bought this. Um, I'm not the greatest judge, I don't think, of horror games, but I will say that to me it was scary. It A couple of parts. However, some of it, a lot of it's just a few parts that are genuinely scary, but a lot of the other stuff just kind of seems to rely on the whole something just jumps out and surprises you, and you just kind of jump yourself. To me, that's not really scary, but what do you do? Um, there is moments where it's scary. Then story, as far as the story of the game goes, For me, it was intriguing at first. Personally, I think it was a great opening level. Gets you introduced to the mechanics of the game, and I was hooked. It just keeps pulling you along with little bits of clues and investigations and all kinds of stuff. Um, However, there gets to be like, and like you start to, your character has like some visions and stuff at first. Just kind of see some weird, eerie stuff, and then towards the latter half of the game, supernatural element to it definitely comes out quite clearly, and I don't necessarily have a problem with that. It's just that that supernatural element, especially like in the last level or two of the game, I think really kind of just brings it down a little bit. Like in that last level or two, the story kind of just implodes on itself. It just kind of, it's not necessarily bad, but there's just kind of like a cliffhanger, and it's just kind of sudden, and I wasn't that satisfied with the ending. And there's still a couple of questions left at the end, but the good news is, I guess you could say good news. Um, I've bought the sequel, Condemned 2 Bloodshot, and I'm only like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours into it, but I can say that already it's answered a few of the lingering questions from the first game. Um, oh, I did leave out a little bit of the story. I mean, you find out pretty early on, so if you put the first level game, you know. But the whole thing with being attacked by drug addicts and bums and whatnot, there's just some strange stuff going on in your city. The crime rate's gone up crazy, and they don't really know why. And then, for some reason, a lot of birds are dying, and that kind of leads into some questions. And the birds can actually lead into my wrap up. In terms of replay value, there's a lot of collectibles that you can find throughout the game. You can collect dead birds, pieces of metal. Then there's like these hidden TVs that you can find, and so that adds some replay value. Also, different so a couple of difficulties, 3 or 4. Don't really remember. Otherwise, the game's kind of short. I believe like 10 levels. Took me about 2.5 days to beat it. If the achievement hunters out there, if you're like me, I kind of am. I know that ticks some people off, but to me that adds replay value. I do like to try to find some hidden stuff. I just found it interesting that this is the only game that I know of that only has, besides the like your Xbox Live Arcade games and the Rock Band Track Pack games, it does not have the full 1,000 achievement points. It has 970 for whatever reason. Not entirely sure why. But there's no multiplayer. Uh, there's leaderboards for like best score or times or something for the single player levels. I don't know if you really care about that at all. Just overall, I'd recommend this game to horror fans or first-person shooter fans who are looking for a change of pace. Yeah, that's about it. It's kind of long, I know. First time video. Just leave some comments if you got any advice on how I could make a better videos, or just things I could improve on. Because I'm sure there's quite a few. Just getting into this, so thanks for watching, and see ya.